It's time to draft. It's time to live draft Best Ball Mania Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Link in description if you're watching a replay. Link in description if you want to click it now. Link in live chat if you want to draft with us. Underdog will double your first deposit. I'm sorry. The new promo is 50% match on your first deposit up to $250. So if you deposit $20, they'll give you 10. The minimum is only 10. You do 10, they'll give you 5. You do 500, they'll give you 250, all the way up to $250. Underdog will 50% match your first deposit using code Smitty or the link I just dropped. We're drafting right now. We're doing Best Ball Mania. The fantasy football show begins right now.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. We've got Blackbeard, moderator-in-chief in the building. Sick Nasty, moderator-in-chief in the building. I'm sure Travis Rowe is also lingering somewhere. I've got Silver Rapture, OG of the chat right here. I don't know. We call him, I guess, Patient 7. I don't know. Yeah, I am number 7. He might have been 2 or 1 or 5, but he was definitely one of the first 10 to ever watch the show. So Silver is the OG, the grandfather of the chat. Ramos in the building. What's up, everybody? All right, let's get to drafting, shall we? Go to the link that I just dropped in the chat. If you don't get in, you know the process. You need to sign up ahead of time using code Smitty, using the link in the description, using the link that's in the live chat, using code Smitty, getting signed up ahead so you don't get left behind. We're going to go into the Underdog app right now, and on drafts at the bottom, lobby at the top are the selections you need. And then you got it's basically when you open the app from fresh, it'll be on the cards, right? Swipe, 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 swipe. Best Ball Mania. Click it, click the green button now, and jump into the draft. And the spots go quickly, so we may or may not get into the same draft, and that's okay. They go really, really fast. But this is a Best Ball Mania. First place gets $1.5 million. Okay? 2 more to start the draft, and let me put the board on screen for all of you to follow along. If you don't get in, just join another draft. You can even join the weeklies, the $10 draft. You can join whatever draft you want and follow along. The process is what is important, not necessarily being in the exact same draft. Okay, so let me refresh. Best Ball Mania. There we go. I'll put it up on the screen right here. Expand the draft board. It looks like I got the 12 pick. So I'll definitely be able to deploy the wide receiver round 1 strategy from the 12 spot. And that's what tonight is going to be about. There's the draft board. Use code Smitty. Let me drop the link one more time. If anybody wants to take advantage of that 50% match on your first deposit, all the way up to $250. Double R in the building. John's in the building. Sick Nasty. Young. Falcon. Togo in the building. Superfish. Orion. Appreciate you all being here. Draft begins in 5 seconds. And it looks like we've got, I recognize some of you guys in here. Stage is always in here. Tebow's in here. I believe this person at the Dragons at one of ours. I believe Tilted Bob might be one of ours. I'm not positive. And Miles might be one of ours. So I think we got a good crew in here. Christian McCaffrey going 1. No surprise. No surprise. I like him more in weeklies than I do Best Ball Mania because you don't care if he missed, let's say, 5 games or he misses the last 8 games because he gets hurt. You're getting Christian McCaffrey for the remainder of the season. And in weeklies, each winning week is a whole separate league, essentially, 20K. This is Best Ball Mania, though. So I'm not saying I don't like McCaffrey. I'm just saying 28 years old, worry about injuries. Anywhere but round 1, I'm getting someone else, right? So I take my chances. If I got the 1, I would take McCaffrey. But I just want everyone to know my stance is that I'm not necessarily excited about taking him in over like 20% of my leagues, even though he is a monster because he's 28 years old And at some point, he's going to break. And Shanahan's running him into the ground. Tyreek Hill, number 2. Lamb, 3. Chase, 4. Bijan, 5. I think JAA2 is one of ours. Jefferson, number 6. Breece Hall, 7. Blue is on the clock, then Stage. Amon-Ra. Blue's on the clock, then Tebow. Then Punch, then myself. Jahmyr Gibbs, like it. Tebow's on the clock. What you going to do, Tebow? Top pick is Puka, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake London, Jonathan Taylor. What's Tebow going to do? Puka's pretty safe. And then Punch is up. I imagine Punch goes A.J. Brown. Pretty par for the course, which would mean I get Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr., which is probably what I would do. If not, I'll take A.J. Brown. We'll see if Punch decides to take him. There he goes, A.J. Brown. So we're going to go Garrett Wilson. We're gonna make Harrison the second round pick because I want to shove his ADP down as much as I can possibly attribute and help out with that. Yeah, let's put maybe we let Harrison slip to the third round in unison over and over and over again. No, we wouldn't move the needle. But Garrett Wilson and Harrison is not bad. Pretty nice. Double wide receiver ain't bad. Sick Nasty's doing a weeklies alongside of us, and that's the way I don't mind that. Everybody says, "Oh, I missed out on getting in the draft. Can you do another one?" And that makes me feel good. You guys want to draft with us as a group, and I like that. But there's nothing wrong with rolling with another draft alongside of it, watching this one kind of start earlier, and then you get to kind of deploy what we're talking about in a draft right alongside. So do it live. Any super chats that come in, I'll handle those immediately. Phone lines are open if anybody wants to dial into the phone line. Let me put the phone line on the screen here. Let's see where to go. Let me put the phone number at the top. There. I'll probably have to put it right here. Dial into the show. Anybody has a question, I'm here for you. Your boy is here to serve. Okay? Are you going too early? Yeah, bro. Tebow, 15 overall. I think Tebow wants him to get traded. Tebow wants him getting traded. Tebow is expecting a trade. That's what he's doing. All right. Kyron and Breece. Miles is one of our guys. Definitely. Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Gibbs, and Barkley in that 9 slot by Stage, which is Ray G, by the way. Puka and Ayuk to Tebow. Punch, A.J. Brown, and London. Your boy, Garrett Wilson, and Marvin. Front of the draft. Obviously, we have no... All right. Bijan and Taylor. JAA2 is going with the double RB. I don't hate it. You can't hate anything at this point unless you're reaching. Honestly, Tebow, Ayuk at 15 is wild to me. That's high, man. That's so high. Can't do that. What's up, Dan? The Grim Reacher in the building. Tebow, I love Tebow, though. Tebow, you know you're my boy, Blue. But you always have an excuse. We're doing 150 drafts. And I remember the first time you said it to me, I gave you a pass. I go, you know what? Touche. I don't mind you mixing up. But you always have an excuse as to why you're picking what you're picking. Well, I have too many Debo shares. Hey, we're doing 150 drafts. I might as well try something new. But, Achane, not nice. Christian McCaffrey, Achane, and what? That's a nice pairing, man. Achane falling to the 2-3 turn is amazing. Nico, yeah, it's okay. I guess what's left, right? Snipe City. So it's not your fault. I mean, really, Nico is near the top wide receiver available. You got DJ Moore, you got Pittman Jr., you got DK. Hard to really like anybody, one player over the other. really gets dried up. That's why I'm glad I went wide receiver in this draft, because we got a little snipage going on. Little itty bitty snipage. Wide receivers are flying off the board. We got no legit high-end wide receiver ones left at this point. We got some guys that might be able to muster it up. Ron Navy, where have you been?
I thought you might be a little lonely, so I decided to call in.
What's going on, Ronnie boy?
Huh? I got a double dog. She is a pain in the butt.
Double dog. You got two dogs, or you just got a devil dog?
I got a double dog.
I thought you said you got the double dog.
No, I'm like her huge chew toy.
Yeah, dogs are. We're still getting ours in line. Constant barking, constant this and constant that. Overcome with a $4.99 hauler. I don't see a message in that Overcome. So if you have anything, I'll look for you, pal. Appreciate your $5 hauler. New dogs are always a chore, and I'm hoping we get to 2 years and ours stops barking a little bit. It's like constant barking. Ayuk is better than London. I mean, look, you could argue that, but I disagree. Like, I can understand somebody trying to bring that to the table, but you've got an unhappy wide receiver. You've got his backup already, or his replacement already drafted, probably, if they end up trading him, or if they trade Debo. They're trading one of them next offseason or this year. But I don't agree, bro. I don't agree at all. I think London's got way more upside, but I like Ayuk, but in his current environment, he's not eating enough. That's why the Niners won't pay him like St. Brown. He's going to have a rude awakening if he holds firm and steady on that. All right, double picks right here. Ron, I've got Garrett Wilson and Marvin. I love that. Mm-hmm. I could go Jacobs and ETN, which is pretty damn nice, or go Hurts and Jacobs, or Hurts and ETN. I think I'm going to go Hurts for sure.
Best player available.
Yeah. And I'm going to go... personally, I think Jacobs is a smash. I like ETN a lot, though. I don't have a lot of ETN, though. But I'm going to go Jacobs. I'm going to trust my gut. Jacobs is going to have a baller year.
I like Walker better than ETN.
Well, you could get him a lot later. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to go that route. So...
Well, I mean...
You eating a steak? Walker. You eating a steak? What are you eating there?
Well, I had steak last night. I'm just eating a couple of Cape Cod chips.
All right, so my team is Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jalen Hurts, Josh Jacobs. I like it. A.J. Brown, Drake London, DJ Moore, Josh Allen. That's from the 11 spot. The 10 spot, Puka Nacua, Brandon Ayuk, Tank Dell, Trey McBride. I like the other three picks you made, though, Tebow. I love Puka. I love Dell. I love McBride. Those are all fantastic. I just think Ayuk. I mean, why not take Barkley there? Why not take, I don't know. Okay. Stage, Ray G, Gibbs, Barkley, Devontae Smith, and Kelsey. Very, very nice. I like that a lot. Probably top 5 guaranteed right now in my mind, unless you just screw it up and crap the bed the rest of the way, which I know you won't do. Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Malik Neighbors, ETN. Pretty smooth. Miles from the 7. Breece Hall, Kyron Williams, DK Mahomes. Top 5. Love it. Breece Hall, Kyron, DK Mahomes. Miles is one of ours. That's one of our people right there. He's smashing the hell out of this draft. Justin Jefferson, Adams, Cooper Kupp, and Pacheco. Okay. Don't mind that. That's good. A lot of good teams here. Bijan, JT, Pittman, Flowers. This is where you go RB. And I'm not saying it's a bad team. I'm not trying to crap on Pittman or Flowers. But I guess together as my 1 and 2, I'm not like super like thrilled. I'm not coming out of this draft going, yes! You know, like it's one of those ones where you're like, damn it, Kupp didn't fall, right? DK didn't fall. Or no, actually, you did take Pittman over those guys. Okay. Well, I mean, even so, that's if you like Pittman over, that's fine. But I honestly, I think Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Cup DK, or Smith or Tank Dell would have been my pick, that 29 pick. I like the team, though. Jamar Chase, Debo, Sam Laporta, Kincaid. It's going to be tough in a snipe situation where everyone's going to snipe all the picks and you're not going to get value anywhere. That's the nature of these. It's going to be hard for you to go 0 RB through 4 rounds while doing bully double tight end. You're going to find yourself kind of dry at those other spots, but we'll see. We'll see if you pull it off. What?
I was just looking at that nut you're talking about, though. I was like, why the heck did he pick back-to-back tight end?
Double bully tight end can work in best ball, but you just can't do that in a snipe situation because you're not going to have the value. It's just not going to be there. It's like we're hard pressed to get our guys in this draft, and it always feels like someone took a tray of players out of the draft pool, and then you go, this isn't one of our people because they're clearly deploying something. Not that people can't do their own thing. I'm just saying this is not advisable. Chase, Debo, Laporta, Kincaid, Jaden Reed. We'll see what happens if they end up getting the running backs that I love and that are perfect RBs. It could be pretty good, but for right now, it doesn't feel like it's the best maneuver. This 3-spot: CeeDee Lamb, Olave, Diggs, Lamar, Andrews, pretty solid, but I don't know, Tilted Bob, what are your RBs going to look like? Tyreek, Jalen, Waddle. I don't like both Miami wide receivers as a stack, to be honest. That's just me. But if you take Tua, you're going to be kind of covered to whichever receiver breaks out. But it's not my cup of tea. Not with my second drafted player in Waddle. That's too high for Waddle, in my opinion. I like Derrick Henry, though. Amari Cooper, Anthony Richardson. And then this 1 spot: McCaffrey, Achane, Nico, Pickens, Stroud. Pretty good. These are all pretty good teams. Pretty close teams. I like them a lot. I'm on the clock. Kyle Pitts is there. Not a huge fan of the wide receivers at this territory, I must say. And I don't know. I might end up doing a little reach around here. Reach around, as we say. I'm going to go Zamir. It's a little early. I was timing out. And I'm going to go... Let's go Kyle Pitts here. All right. Yeah, I was timing out and I just swiped a player. That was really early. I love Scary Terry. What are you talking about, John? Watch your mouth.
You take Zamir before Najee?
Well, because the ADPs are vastly different. So you gotta try and squeeze it out, though, Ron. Stop ruining my plans. But we'll see. Usually, when we draft with our people, running backs get consumed a lot quicker. But I see him fall all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, his ADP's past my pick, so you can't don't step on my strategy, Ron. Damn you! Don't you ever think about don't you ever think about what if that comment you just made cost me $1.5 million?
I didn't think about it until you mentioned it. I'm sorry.
But do you ever think about that? What if your comment seriously cost me $1.5 million? No, I know, but Ron, I'm just asking you a serious question. Do you ever think about that? It goes through my mind all the time. Do you ever, when you time out one time, do you think about, oh my God, that could have cost me $1.5 million? It goes through my mind every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because you literally you never know, but I'm just saying, what if my life would have been dramatically different had you not opened your mouth on another draft or even this one, I'm not talking about. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's funny when you think about it. I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, do you ever wonder? It goes through my mind all the time. Like one of my kids, they're bugging me while I'm in the middle of a draft, and I'm sitting there and supposed to be paying attention to them, but I'm drafting, and they're like, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and then I miss a timeout. I'm like, that could have been $1.5 million. That draft might have been $1.5 million.
Travis said, "Ouch, Ron, Smitty taking you to civil court."
What's your evidence? Well, I believe that I would have won $1.5 million if Ron didn't mention Terry McLaurin's name. Because Miles ended up taking him at 66 overall, Your Honor. Okay, how do you know that he would have lasted? Your Honor, his ADP is 74. Okay.
The defense says that people reach all the time.
Well, there you go, Ron. Thanks for getting Najee sniped from me.
Oh, did somebody take him?
Yeah, one of our guys took him. Thanks.
Is he listening?
Oh, I'm sure.
One of ours.
I'm sure he is. He's trying that double tight end stack, and this is what if his team is gonna do it, it's landing Najee, it's landing a couple of those RBs, and then having those RBs without having to spend any higher draft capital on RBs, which is a smart approach. There's nothing wrong with Laporta, Kincaid, but if I was Al Cap, I would have went instead of Laporta, Kincaid. I would have grabbed, like, let's see here. I would have grabbed Mahomes. Or no, you wouldn't have. Mahomes is gone. I would have grabbed Hurts or Mahomes instead of Laporta potentially, and had Kincaid with that. I don't know. The double tight end can work. It's not bad. It's a solid approach.
But if you don't have a running back in his spot, who is the best running back on the board? It would be Najee.
No, he was down a little ways. It's not that he couldn't have looked at him. It's not about who's better than Najee. It's about his ADP is at 87. So a lot of people wait. They don't reach. They don't necessarily reach. Some people do, but a lot of people don't.
He's been going in round 7 in the drafts I've been doing. He's been moving up. People have been taking him earlier.
Well, that's where my pick was to get him in round 7. And it would have been 3 or 4 spots before his ADP. But it's okay. It's okay, Ron. I'm going to smash this next pick anyways. And then maybe you help me win $1.5 million.
Maybe.
But I love Ron's mentality of like, who's better than Najee? It's like he's a Steeler. Right as I said that, I swear to you, I did not read this because it came in right after I said it. But Superfish wrote, quote, "Who's better than Najee?" Quote. Oh, Ron, you do live in your own world, where it is 100% right inside that world.
Of course, you have to.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Josh from Cali, you're live. What can I do for you, Josh?
Yo, what's going on, Smitty?
What's up, brother?
I got a question. So I'm seeing the ADP for Keon Coleman and Roma Duze. It's like double. Like one's in I think maybe the 50s, the other one's in the 90s. Who would you rather have dynasty-wise in a redraft? Not redraft, sorry, dynasty.
Dynasty, definitely Dunze. I mean, Dunze was if Dunze went to Arizona and Neighbors went to New York. I'm sorry. If Dunze went to Arizona and Marvin Harrison Jr. went to the Giants, we would have ourselves one of those situations where we might be seeing Smitty talking up Dunze to the freaking moon and back, and having weird conversations about the two of them dynasty wise. But situation is definitely a kingmaker in many, many ways. And not only was Marvin Harrison Jr. talent-wise the best receiver, period, but he also got one of the two only landing spots that were screaming number one wide receiver volume, targets, whatever you want is there for the taking in Buffalo and in Arizona. So Marvin Harrison Jr. was the best talent, but his situation didn't trump him. So Marvin Harrison Jr. to the freaking moon. Odunze, his dynasty value's pretty decent because of Keenan Allen's age. And then you don't really know what DJ Moore's future holds there. And as he gets older, Ziggy, how old is DJ Moore?
DJ Moore was born on April 14, 1997 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, U.S.
That's not the right DJ Moore. Ziggy off. He's half worthless, but he's family, so we keep him around. DJ Moore age. He is 27 years old. He turns. Hey, Ziggy off. Ziggy off. Ziggy off. Son of a bitch. He is 27 though. Born April 14th, so he just turned 27. So, I don't know. Odunze, to me, to answer your question, bro, Odunze to me is in a pretty damn good long-term dynasty spot. Even if Caleb takes time to develop or he's not even the best quarterback, he's still not going to not throw the ball. Like Fields failed in Chicago, not his fault, but still produced, right? So, like, I'm not saying Caleb's not going to throw yardage. Will Caleb win games? Will the Bears be good? So Odunze's pretty damn solid. I'll say this, though. So clear as day, you're taking but at cost of entry, would I rather have Keon Coleman and like a Kyron Williams over Odunze? 1,000%. And in Dynasty, that's something I could see somebody doing. You know what I mean? Like you're trading, if you haven't drafted yet, most people have, but you trade the 1.2 or 1.3 in a 1 QB rookie draft, and you throw some weaker RB you don't even care about back, you get Kyron and the pick that lands you Coleman. Like something like that. I'm not saying that's the most easy trade to pull off, but then I want Keon Coleman because of the added benefit. So cost of entry, Dynasty, Coleman's probably got a leg up on him in a sense. And there is a world where we end 2024, and I believe this to be true. Keon Coleman will be the second best wide receiver out of all the rookies in 2024 only. And then we have conversations about what does that mean? How does it translate to the next year? What are we really looking at with this kid now? And is he now in the conversation of being better? Think about Laporta versus Kincaid and how Laporta's now the bona fide number one fantasy football tight end. But walking in, we liked him a lot. Detroit was fantastic, but we didn't think he would be better necessarily than Kincaid. It was possible, but we weren't ranking it. Just like it's possible Keon Coleman could be better than Odunze, but we're not going to rank that. There might be that kind of like flip that goes on. And so I love Keon Coleman, bro. He landed in the best or the second best, as I just alluded to, Cardinals and Buffalo. The second or first best spot a wide receiver could have went to. And his quarterback absolutely loves him and said he wanted to throw footballs to him and only him. Which he could be lying, but you love to hear it. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it kind of depends on the cost of entry, bro.
Stuck, thanks,
you what? What'd you say?
I'm still stuck, man. Still stuck.
Still stuck.
I hear what you're saying.
You can't draft.
I don't want to go into 2024.
Like, what's the dilemma? You can't draft Coleman over Odunze, if that's what you're asking. You trade down and you get something very significant, not something small, significant. Got here late, missed the draft. Yeah. Thank you, Rock Out, the biggest reacher. That's why teams suck. I'm the biggest reacher, says Rock Out. He's just joking. Rock Out drafts really well. Well, give me your dilemma. What's your exact dilemma? Because I don't know if
you just named it, bro. You just named it. Like I draft. Let's say I drafted Odunze, right? And Coleman is the second best receiver in 2024. Now I got the rest of the league mates. You drafted Odunze. For a whole year I got to put up with this. You know what I mean? And who's to say it goes away? Coleman might just be the next Stephon Diggs for the next 6 years. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah, but but can you trade down? Like, is this something you don't have to force this, bro? You know, I mean, you can.
You want the pick. You know what I mean? You don't want to. I mean, I hear it. I've been trying to trade it, so I can't trade it. To answer the question, no, I can't trade it. I've been trying. You know, we draft in September. You know, it's crazy. So I got to make a call. I guess I'll I don't know, flip a coin or something.
Let's see who's better than Najee, says Ron Navy with a $20 hauler. Let's ask Ron the question. Ron, as we celebrate your $20 hauler real quickly.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Ron with a 20 wad. Ron, look, Ron better not tell you to draft Coleman over over Doomsday or I'll cut his mic off. But like, Ron, I mean, don't you agree that if you have that feeling and you're not loving the situation, let's say you're a Chicago doubter, you're a Caleb doubter, like, I would explore trading the pick to get the Keon Coleman pick. Or, I'm sorry, have you already drafted? You said you haven't, you said, right? You're saying
no,
going
into the draft.
In
September,
okay.
and
September.
I can't trade the pick.
No one
wants this pick. No one wants it.
How does nobody want it? I mean, bro, you got it. And you're sure that it's going to be, it's not going to be Neighbors. You're positive you're getting a Doomsday.
100%. Neighbors is going to be gone. Harrison's going to be gone. It's a single quarterback, like, for sure. Those two guys are gone. The 103, I'm staring down the barrel. I'm between a Doomsday and Coleman.
Yeah, Miles is pissed. Miles is pissed. He says, I got his quorum pick. Does he have... I don't look at what you guys have. Ron always accuses me of sniping him. I literally don't. I'm doing too many things to know who's got who. Who's got Kyron? Miles is Kyron.
Why would you take him?
Why would I take him?
Over if you didn't have Kyron, why would you take
I always snipe all the cuffs that I love, regardless of whether I have the actual better piece of it. So I'll have him in a lot of drafts. I'll have Braylon Allen's going to get there. I consume his.
You just don't want Kyron to get him.
Well, not just that, but like at some point that could serve me. I got Jonathan Brooks. I got Jonathan Brooks. I've got Blake Corum. I do expect Corum to get some, like, a start or two and be very good on McVay's system, but doesn't mean that I feel he's taking the job like everybody else.
I mean, who'd you have on the phone? Remember, you had that draft strategy where he'd take all the cuffs, but he wouldn't cuff himself. Who was that?
That was Sebastian. Yeah, Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian. That's what you're doing now. You're taking all the cuffs.
No, I just took Blake Corum. I just took Blake Corum. I don't know what you're talking about. I just took Blake Corum. I'm not cuffing anybody else right yet. I'm just saying I love to do that. But I'll cuff my own player. Ron, let me try and win $1.5 million before you ruin all my strategies.
Is this a?
It's a mania. It's a mania. It's a best ball mania.
Oh, it's a mania.
And I'm trying to win $1.5 million, and you're trying to milk my strategy out in front of everybody. You're milking me, Ron. You're trying to milk Smitty.
No, I wasn't.
As they said on Meet the Fockers, do you have nipples, Greg? Because Ron's trying to milk me right now. He's trying to milk my strategy right out of me.
Oh, Lord.
Miles is mad that I grabbed Miles. You should have grabbed him around 10, bro. Like he's got round 10, 11 ADP. Okay. Ziggy driving a cargo ship.
My boy.
This might answer your question.
Ziggy off. Ziggy off.
Oh my God, this dog's mental.
Okay.
She's a complete mental case. Maybe we can get Miles a free membership.
He's all right. He'll survive.
Maybe that'll. Let's see.
Miles will survive. He'll be okay. What's
Hit the mud, Andrew. So Smitty.
That's funny. Miles sniped my Goddard pick, by the way, just so you know. And I didn't do it in revenge, but Ron gifted 10 exclusive memberships. Did Miles get one? I don't. It looks like Miles did not get one. It looks like Matt, Frank, Brandon, Philly, Rob, Hedge is a member of the Patreon. Andrew, Hazelnut. Nice job. Thanks, Ron.
Hey, Silver, I instead of taking a lap, I gifted 10 memberships. I'm too lazy to run laps.
Yeah, Ron doesn't. He just eats steak, potato chips, and gifts memberships. I lose 1.5 million. Ron gives me 10 memberships. It all evens out.
Yeah.
But I do love how Miles sniped my Goddard pick, but was mad I took Corum 3 rounds later. I don't care. You take whoever you want. You can snipe the heck out of me. I'll just grab the next best guy. Okay, I am on the clock. This is very, very tough because I have to wait so long to take a player. I have to pretty much reach every time I draft.
Oh, whatever happened? There's so many people that I haven't seen in here in a long time. Whatever happened to off season? She was on all the time, but now I haven't seen her. What was her name?
I don't know.
She was always in here, especially in the off season.
Brianna? Or
Huh?
who? I don't know. I'm not sure. We have a lot of people that come and go. Shouldn't gifted memberships.
Lived in Florida.
Shouldn't gifted memberships be Earth folks? Only if I guess it carries on with what you have. So if you had 4 months racked up and you let it lapse or whatever, and you come back, so they anybody that has no Earth emoji, they ended up letting it lapse and they got it.
Start over. No, it wasn't Brianna. No, not Brianna.
Oh, I think I know who you're. I think I know who you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. I'm not sure. People come and go all the time. J85 over Caleb. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Texas, thanks for the gifted membership. All right. These teams are pretty good. I like my Jerome Ford pick. I'm starting to really like Jerome Ford in round 11, 12, 13. I'm really starting to feel like, we talked about this the other day, and it's starting to really feel like he is going to have a cemented in role. And I think 11, 12, 13 is a great place for Jerome Ford. He was very touchdown dependent last year, was not super efficient yards per carry, and didn't seem to get a lot of work. But with Nick Chubb, likely not going to be healthy, and the fact that they've kind of counted on Ford and Chubb as their RB room, I'm really starting to like Jerome Ford. Okay.
Amy. That's what it. Yeah, Amy.
Jalen Wright. Ron's just having his own conversation over here. Ron, this is a fantasy football show, not a remember when show.
I know. Yeah, but this is fantasy football because it was a member of our fantasy
I know, but
football.
they're not here right now. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I hope she's okay.
Easiest way to find the deep sleepers is to look at the best wide receiver in lowest rank. I don't know what you're talking about. It's too long, John. Shorten up your comment, John. John. By the way, John tried to sneak himself in as a different name when he called in, and I could just tell it was him. And then the other day I was like, all right, we'll see you later, Bob. He goes, by Bob on the phone line. I go, see you later, Bob. I mean, AKA John. And he goes, how'd you know? How'd you know? I don't think you take.
Smitty knows. I remember when I called you on the wife's phone one time just to mess you up, and you knew it was me right away.
Yeah.
He even tried to just voice. What's up, Ron?
Hookah says, I don't think you take JD over Caleb in a dynasty, but I could be wrong. Of course you do. JD5's miles above Caleb. His personal taste. That's okay. You can have that taste. We need enough people thinking like this, though, in order to keep JD5 at a good value. You know what I'm saying? So keep telling everybody. Tell everybody you know. Kyle Pitts. I need wide receivers. This team isn't shaping up exactly like I would like it to. I'm going to go Jermaine Burton. I'm probably going to take Ron's boy, Roman Wilson.
See,
So,
I didn't talk anything. I did that on purpose.
What?
I didn't talk anything about Roman Wilson. I just kept my...
Yeah. Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., A.D. Mitchell, Corley, Jermaine Burton, Roman Wilson. I go rookie heavy a lot of the time at the end of my wide receiver room. Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks, Blake Corum, Jerome Ford, Jalen Hurts. Let me send this over to my screen because it's hard to... I kind of like this team. I think if I wasn't drafting with all these astute sniping SOBs in here, because you guys are all really good drafters and we are all very like-minded, obviously, on this channel, then I'd get a little bit more value in a couple places. And I think, I don't know. Jalen Hurts and Kyler, fantastic duo, different bye weeks. I love the Kyler and MHA stack. This is that stack I always tell you guys about. That's kind of it's a way to look like you're missing out on stacks, and people think, oh, you can't draft Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase, or you can't draft Jamar Chase without Joe Burrow. Like if you take Hurts, or better yet, let's say Hurts and you go, or let me see if I can. Yeah, let's say you take Jamar Chase in round 1 and you take Jalen Hurts, and people are like, oh my God, you can't do that. But you took Chase in 1, and actually, the better example was this one. So you take MHJ and you take Jalen Hurts in round, 4 or 3. You take MHJ in like 1. And then later on, you grab Kyler, and then you have this this sub stack that comes into play whenever it needs to. So when you say, oh, you didn't cuff the two, the likelihood of you having these things going off together increase. You have better chance of winning when you stack. Well, I am stacking. And if it so happens Kyler balls the hell out, and he can be a top 5 quarterback any given week, then I have this stack ready to go. So I really, really, really love, this is what I did in this draft, going Hurts, Kyler, MHJ, and having that creative, secondary stack. So Hurts, Kyler, Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks, Blake Corum, Jerome Ford, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., A.D. Mitchell, Malachi Corley, Jerome Burton, Roman Wilson, Kyle Pitts. Pretty good team. Kyle Pitts was kind of like, I don't want to say my regret, because he could absolutely win it for me, because if he ends up being a top 5 tight end. But maybe I'd go back and take, if I could redo anything, it'd probably be give me Najee instead of Pitts, or you know what I mean, if I could swap out something. And that was too high. Who was there?
Now watch Pitts be the one that wins you $1.5 million.
Yeah, it might be. maybe it'll be a good instinct that I had at the moment, but it's a good team. I mean, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't care if I've got a slew of rookie wide receiver 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like, I just need one of those guys to be huge. Kyle Pitts is fine. Jacobs, Zamir White, Brooks, Corum, Ford. I mean, you could say my running back 2 is suspect, but with upside. But my QB room is phenomenal. What?
The draft is over?
No. We have 4 more rounds. Well, 3 rounds after I got 2 back-to-back picks, then 2 more, and then I'm done.
Oh, okay. I'll keep my mouth shut then.
Yeah.
I was about to talk about some more players.
Travis, you're live.
How's it going? What's up, Ron?
What's up, Trav?
I haven't talked to you for a while. Pretty good. Can't complain.
Whoa.
Hello?
You still eating Cape Cod potato chips over there?
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like he's chewing on
Oh, is
something.
that loud?
A little bit.
No, I got it.
Not. Oh,
I didn't know it was loud.
Those are the loudest chips in the world.
They are pretty loud, Ron.
They're
Talk
These are
about
the
that.
Cape Cod Wave white cheddar sour cream potato chips.
Those are pretty good. Barbecue are good. You come to Cape Cod and take a tour of the factory. That's a real blast.
Rock out, call back in.
Yeah,
I missed your call.
I like,
Yeah, they're good chips, though.
the
Anyway,
house, I like those. Oh wait, this is a fantasy football show. Smitty,
Well, Ron does go off on these tangents. What do you think of the squad, Travis? If I was to detour, I don't know if you could see the draft board at all. If I was to detour,
I got it
Zamir White, I was timing out, and I didn't want to. You know how like when I said you're timing out, just cue somebody so you don't miss out.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had like a half a second left, I just hit the cue on Zamir White, and I took him way too early. So everybody know I didn't mean to really take him there, but I didn't want to just get somebody. So it sucks. It's the nature of running a live stream. I'm going to get timeout like once every other draft. But aside from that, so 60 and then it turns in like I mean Najee would have probably been the better pick over one of those guys, maybe not Zamir White. Maybe I'd just say Kyle Pitts, replace him with another guy. That's probably where I would have done something different. Josh Jacobs, Zamir, and Najee would have been fantastic with Jonathan Brooks. But I don't know, maybe like Ron said, maybe Kyle Pitts wins this.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, by taking them, it mixes it up a little, something you don't usually do. So, can't hurt to switch it up a little bit. I was going to ask you, we've talked about him a little bit with Ford.
Love him.
I like him too.
I'm starting to love him.
Like his ceiling, though. Do you see him like being a potential top 10 back, or is he more just like a really good RB2?
The thing about God, it's so tough because the thing about Ford is like when you look at his stats and his game log, like he didn't really have the best year at the end of the day, but he was very touchdown dependent. But the thing is, they're gonna have those situations pretty much all year long. So if I pull up, my RBs, my leaders from 2023,
he was used kind of strange too. I watched like a decent amount of their games, and like they just go away from him for a full quarter, especially when Flacco was there. They were just chucking the ball.
He was running back 16. Let me put his stats on the board here just so we can look at it.
Is that what he finished at? 16?
Yeah. I mean, give or take. This is just one league I'm pulled up, but
yeah.
Ford had
higher than I thought he did.
813 yards. He had how many rushing attempts did he have? 204. So 204 attempts. Tell me when I'm on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see where I'm on. When I'm on the clock. I'm gonna time out here. Okay, I got a little bit. All right, so 204 attempts, 813 rushing yards. He had 4 rushing TDs. Receiving wise, he had 44 receptions, which is very nice. That's a very nice total.
Yeah.
And he had 5 receiving touchdowns, so he had 9 TDs. Yep. So he's very TD dependent. His yardage was, am I up?
Over 1,000 total yards.
I think I'm on
rushing and receiving.
Oh, am I on the clock yet? No.
I can't tell. The stream is like behind the phone. So.
Okay, no, I'm not. I was on the clock in another draft. So 44 receptions for how many yards receiving? He had
319.
319.
319. Yeah.
Yeah. So he had 5 TDs receiving, 319 receiving, 44 receptions, 4 TDs, 813. It's a damn good year. Like considering how they didn't use him, and when you pull up his game log, and you take a look at his game log, he's literally. Let me see. He had 2 100-yard games rushing the ball. And honestly, he didn't have very big receiving stats. He had one time did he have over 33 yards. One time. He had 57 yards in one game. The rest of his games were just 33 yards receiving, 31, 33, 33, 25, but it was just consistent. I think I'm on the clock. Hold on. Let me take my last 2 guys real quick. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Are you taking receivers?
Hold on, Ron. Hold on. Let me make my first pick.
Don't forget about Boyd if he's still there.
Oh, this isn't my last pick. What am I talking about? Wait, it is the last pick. Hold on.
Way down the depth chart.
It is the last pick. I went into the wrong damn draft. That's right. I timed out on a quarterback that I needed. I need a tight end. I'm going to go Kraft. Okay, so my team is done. I've got Hurts, Kyler. Here, I'll just send it to my screen and we'll review it in a second. Hold on. Let me just finish my point about Ford. Okay, so back over to the board. Oh, I'm on the board. Okay, so Ford, yeah, one game, bro. One game did he have over 33 receiving yards. And he had 2 games with 100 yards rushing. So, like, the way I look at it is if Chubb is not in the picture, this guy's versed in the offense, they're going to run they're going to run the hell out of the ball. I'm going to say this
took away a lot of work from him.
Yeah. I'm going to say this turns into 950 at least, which isn't a big number, but it's 950 to 1,000. I think this is going to be 5 to 6 receiving or rushing touchdowns. Well, I'll call it 6. I'll call it 6 to 7. I'll say 6 to 7 rushing touchdowns. And then I'll say we'll call this 55 400 and 4. So that could potentially be 11 TDs, 1,300 plus total yards, maybe 200, 35 rushes, 240 rushes. It's a really good year for a guy you're getting in the 11th round. He's a starter.
So they got rid of Hunt. Chubb is hurt, and they brought in Donta Foreman and Nyheim Hines, which doesn't really do much for me. Foreman is always a little iffy. He seems to take some work from people, but I just think, Ford's only 24 years old, so I've always liked Ford.
I like him.
I was frustrated last year because they kept giving the ball to Kareem Hunt all through the year, and it was like, Hunt could catch the ball a little bit, but he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Ford's better than Hunt, so.
I like him. Real quickly, team reviews: A.J. Brown, Drake London, that was Punch. Bunch's team's okay. I don't love Pollard and Mixon, so your team, to me, I don't like it at the end of the day. But I like A.J. Brown in London. Does a good start. To each his own. Puka, Ayuk, Tank Dell, McBride, Xavier Worthy, George Kittle, Monty Mostert. This is Tebow. Brian Robinson. Stafford's your best quarterback. No thanks. This is Tebow. I love you, pal, and I know you do. You do give me that usual. Hey, I got to do something different. But I hear that every time. I've seen you draft amazing teams, man. When you stick to like the balance, you do really well, Tebow, with balance. Whenever you do this weird sort of like lopsided stack of some kind or lopsided build, I don't end up liking the team. Like Mostert, if you got last year's stats with Mostert and Monty, now we're talking, but I don't think you're gonna. So I don't like. I don't know. If I were you, I would have mixed in some other players in this, George Kittle, Worthy, David Montgomery range. I don't know. I don't mind the 3 wide receiver start. I don't mind that. And even though you went McBride, I don't necessarily mind that. But who could you had at running back? Like, maybe you take... What are you doing? Instead of Kittle, I mean, maybe you take Najee there, bro. I don't know. I would have done something different. I don't hate your team. I don't like the RBs. Jahmyr Gibbs, Barkley, Devontae Smith, Kelsey, Keon Coleman's a little early in 5. I do notice that Ray G's the master reacher of all time sometimes, because he when he gets into these environments, he wants so badly he wants everybody to go, damn it, you took him. Damn it, you took him over and over. And Ray G's just, I mean, look, round 5, I don't know. What is his ADP? What is Keon Coleman's ADP?
That's 80. I think it's 80.
I mean,
somewhere around 80.
I mean, round 5.
I'm the master here.
Oh, so, hey, what's up, Rockout? Appreciate you being here, bro, pal.
Hey, Rockout.
I forgot I added him.
70. Keon Coleman is 70. ADP.
So that puts him at what?
12 times 5 is 60.
That's like
15, 13 picks ahead of it.
6.10. 6.10.
What pick did he take him? Was it 57? So he took him 13 picks early.
610. So 610 versus, yeah. I mean, that's a ways. It's not great. I mean, you could say the same thing about my Zamir White pick. So, like, who am I to talk? But okay. So, but that's early. You're losing a lot of value there. So am I. Whatever. I timed out, but there's still no excuse. There's still no excuse.
Coleman's ADP has come up a little too.
Yeah.
Maybe he timed out too.
Yeah, he could have. I just clicked on my queue, haha. Okay, you know what? Ray's done that before. He's timed out on his queue, and he just queues him up. Okay, understandable. But look, I've no room to talk. I timed out on Zamir White doing the same thing. So there's always an excuse. In this case, we both have one. But okay, but I like your team: Joe Burrow, Christian Watson, Zach Moss, Austin Eckler. It's a really, really good squad. Leggett, Pearsall, Bennett, Luke McCaffrey. Those are all show guys, though. Like every single one. I love it. If I'm in a coma, Ray G's drafted for me, but I need someone to hold him back a little bit. Don't let him put the gas pedal all the way down when he's doing it. Maybe Ray G drafts for me, and Travis sits with a whip behind him. And if he ever reaches more than 10, 12 picks, Travis just lets the whip crack right on his back. Just... Smitty's in a coma. We have to draft for him. He has 17 undrafted best ball manias left that he can max out at. Someone grab his phone and scan his eyes. Let's open up the app. All right, Ray G, start. Draft marathon. You guys live stream while I'm in a coma. Just put me next to you.
Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Smitty's.
Weekend at Smitty's. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Malik Neighbors, Etienne Walker, Rashad White, Jamison Williams, Dak. This is not bad. Miles, Breece Hall, Kyron, DK, Patrick Mahomes, Hollywood Brown, McLaurin, JSN, Dallas Goedert. I love all those picks, bro. They're all really, really, really good selections. You've kind of cuffed Mahomes to Hollywood. You've got I love JSN's value. You sniped my Goddard. It's okay. I got your Corum. We'll trade later. Yeah, good squad, bro. Really good squad. I like it. Justin Jefferson, Adams, Cooper Kupp, Isaiah Pacheco, James Cook, Keenan Allen. Meh, it's good, but Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., Zay Flowers, T. Higgins. I'm starting to like T. Higgins a little bit more if he falls, but if he doesn't, I don't take him. Like I keep kind of envisioning him getting traded to like Washington or something, but I don't know. But I don't
like him if he gets moved.
Yeah, I mainly like him if he gets moved, but we'll see. Jaden Reed, I like that. I don't know. I'm starting to like the Jaden Reed value at times, but this seems a tad early. But I still don't mind it. I really like him. Chase, Debo, Laporta, Kincaid, Reed, Najee, Ramondre, Warren. Look, this is a good job. This is, I said earlier, Jaden Daniels, Dotson. I like it. This is definitely one of our people. I really do. I thought it wasn't at first because they did the 2 wide receivers, the 2 tight ends, and then the wide receiver. And I thought this can't be one of our people. But the Najee, the Ramondre, the Jalen Warren cuff to Najee, the Jaden Daniels, the Dotson. Like this is a Smitty-esque team for sure. Fields. I mean, it's got the makings.
Singletary and Miller. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think you did really well with the RBs. And if Jaden Daniels lands, bro, if he's the next AR5 and he does it all year long, I mean, this could be that kind of team. It's crafty. I like it. I think it's definitely in the top 6 or 7. And I didn't think it would be. Doesn't mean it's easy to deploy and you're always going to get it, but you did a good job. CeeDee Lamb, Olave, Diggs, Lamar, Andrews, Aaron Jones, Swift. I don't think the RBs are. Did you get Benson? No, you didn't. So I don't know about this Connor standalone, Swift standalone. Aaron Jones is an injury room waiting to happen. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Henry, Cooper, A. Richardson, Godwin. Godwin's hard to draft. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. There's a lot of people who think he could get different work this year. But like, it's so hard for me to buy into him. I don't know why. He reminds me so much of like Deontay.
Who's around him too? Let's see. Godwin, what's his ADP? His ADP is 70.
He went 71.
He's in that Keon Coleman range.
Yeah, where Keon Coleman should be. I don't know. Yeah. And then the last team, Christian McCaffrey, Achane, Collins, George Pickens, Stroud, Brian Thomas. It's not bad. Benson's a good pick. This could, if Benson's a top 6 to 10 running back for more than half of a season, I really like this team. But you do need like 1 or 2 things to pop. You need like Pickens to be top 7 to 10. You need Nico to be that top 5, 6 receiver that you're expecting him to be, given you drafted him at 3.1. You need Stroud to have 45 touchdowns like he could. As I said earlier, good drafts, everybody. As I said earlier on today's show, we might be blown away by how differently the stats look going forward. We may never see the numbers we are used to and accustomed to seeing. We may see handfuls of quarterbacks get 40 touchdowns or 40 combined touchdowns. The shorter field, the kickoff rules are going to make teams closer to the end zone. They're going to get more attempts because people are scoring quicker. And so who the hell knows what these scores are going to look like? Maybe I'm wrong and it doesn't change that much, and maybe these teams start to really, like the KC Chiefs today with the news of them potentially using their defensive back, I think it was, Reed, to do kickoffs. Yeah. And that way he can tackle and be an extra, defensive player, not just it's an extra line in the front, right? Now maybe the kickoff rule, maybe that neutralizes some of the advantage. I don't know. We'll have to, we're all going to go in there blind, and it's going to be interesting to see how it affects everything. But there's a good shot that like a 40 touchdown passer now throws for 50. We don't really know.
They were saying that it was USFL that did this type of thing that they got it from. or is it
XFL.
XFL? Yeah. They were saying that it's like 80% or something like that, high percentage of the tackles on the kickoff are made by the kicker.
Yeah. So there's a good chance that Casey creates a trend that we see transcend into the next year, like to where half the teams are doing it. But it makes sense to say don't have Butker kick off the ball and chance getting hurt because he'll be more involved now in trying to stop a player. And what kicker is going to be like, I'm not going to try and tackle him and save the touchdown. So they don't want to put Butker in that position and have him, have more chances of getting hurt. And so why not put somebody in that can easily, because Reed can kick. He kicked it out of the end zone, like when they did have to use him in the previous attempts. So if Reed goes out there and he can punch a shorter kick into that zone, and then now he's ready to tackle, Reed becomes one of the most valuable special teams players in the National Football League.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden you got an extra defender to clog up any sort of lane that returners could find. Maybe it neutralizes the effect a little bit, but not many teams are going to take that approach or have the ability to do that, and it takes some time to deploy. So I think this year still will be crazy. But if Casey finds a loophole to neutralize the advantage, then we'll see.
Imagine at training camps, right? The kickers used to do kicking and running and calisthenics and stuff like that. Now they're going to be having to hit the sleds and do all the tackling training and stuff.
Yeah. Justin, appreciate you.
If they want a job.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I was a young kid, like I'm a good kicker, or what I was, I'm not that good anymore. Like my knee's bad, but like I can boot a ball pretty well. I did it at the NFL Super Bowl, and it's me old school old man Smitty kicking, so I look bad and I'm slow and I'm heavier and all that. But like I used to be able to kick 45 to 50-yard field goals like clockwork. I was never a kicker though, but I started to do this like later in life. But if I was a young kid and the NFL was going this way, I would love to be like a defensive machine that also kicked the football off and just kicked it, and I just sat there like a hungry machine, just giant, waiting for somebody to break through that rushing lane and be like, come to daddy. And just like I could see that being like an amazing role to have for a team, like a value. Like he's going to be one of the more popular players on that defense and special teams if he's out there just laying people out while he's kicking the ball off. It's going to become such a good story.
They were saying something about Jabril Peppers is actually a decent kicker, and they're talking about possibly experimenting with something like that.
Yeah, very.
So it could be real interesting to see what comes of it.
Fields to return kick.
Yeah, very well could. T. Higgins, we talked about this news earlier. T. Higgins is upset, and Ayuk reposting on Instagram stories T. Higgins' clip of saying, I'll tell them no, they can't wait to call me selfish. And we had all this news. If anybody missed any of this, go on over to the show where you see this exact thumbnail and watch that. It was like 2.5 hour news show today. It's pretty good. Real quickly, let me here's my kick. Let me see if I can put this on screen.
I know you can help it.
Guys, here's my Patreon. Make sure you join my Patreon if you want to be a part of where I believe that we try a lot of things on this channel, and I do it all with good intentions. The Rumble, and I'm not saying Rumble's not going to happen at some point. If I can carve out more time as we get bigger, the more time gets allotted to video for me, and I do a lot of video as it is. Like I go live more than anybody, but I have a lot of other things that contain my time: emails, correspondence, the fantasyfootballshow.com content. As we get bigger, I'm able to narrow a lot of my focus in, as the machine gets bigger. And so there is a time where I might have a daily Rumble show that's independent from anything else on top of everything. But what I've always made a vow of doing is never letting the main YouTube channel or the fantasyfootballshow.com content get affected by some other edition. So that's why Rumble kind of isn't happening right now, but it will. The Dynasty channel, I promise you, is not going away. I hit a little bit of a roadblock time-wise to get those shows out daily, but I promise you the Dynasty channel is one of the main 4 pillars of the future of this brand. The main YouTube channel will never be affected. That's why I'm rain or shine, Monday through Friday, I'm here. I'm never disappointing. I don't think ever I can remember a time I didn't just show up for my show. If I had to go to some family, track meet or something for a kid, I would go live at like 4:30, go to the 5 o'clock, 5:30 hour, and then jump early or something. But I'm always here. Sometimes the graveyard shifts are always optional. I always tell people that. I'm never guaranteeing a graveyard midnight shift. That's why when I show this right here, I say, or Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, you hear me say all the time, live when big news breaks. Sometimes I wait a little while to let the news develop, because sometimes you can go live too quick. And so sometimes I go live, we digest it early. Sometimes I let it marinate for a while, just depends on what's going on. And I'm live most nights at midnight. I don't lock this in because this is the one thing I have to have movable so that I can navigate my life and everything. But these are optional shows that I do. These are the guaranteed shows, and then live when news breaks is pretty much a guarantee as well. This is pillar 1 of my channel, my brand, the fantasyfootballshow.com, where you can get year-round rankings. I've been doing this. This is how I started, is writing content, going on the radio. I did 19 straight years doing the longest fantasy football radio show in the world. It went 23 years. I was a part of it 19. I started that and my content. The trade calculator, invented the trade calculator, the draft simulator. Nobody had these things in the industry that I could find. And I was like, I got to do this. So that's how I got into the industry 4 years ago, whatever it was. That's pillar 2 of the brand. Number 3 is the Dynasty channel. Just so everybody knows where it is importance-wise. I want the Dynasty channel to be that important. Now, Instagram and all those things are kind of like just asides that help funnel people here, keep people aware of what's going on. I have a lot of fun on Instagram. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. So you could say Instagram is like a form of a pillar as well. But my next one, I truly believe this is going to probably be the case. And if for any reason it isn't, I'll let you know if I start feeling the vibe. But the Patreon is going to probably be where I think it's going to be like the home base of the following, because it is a place you can collect. They have created so many different things now that are different than they used to have. There's live chats it's kind of like a Discord, and there are 10 to 12 live chat rooms that are Dynasty, Superflex, trading. And so for 10 a month, you get access to all of those chat rooms, and there's no different tiers. It's just a flat 10. For 10 a month, you get access to all the chats, and then I write content on there on the daily. Every other day, I'll do 2 things in one day, whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's a quick video clip or it's writing, but there's posts that are there that you can view and comment and have further discussion on, and then the chats. It's as simple as that. It's the chat room, and then it's the content that I write or the video clip that I put in a post and post. And that's it. But it's content and live chats. But it's where we're going to go to have conversations before the show, after the show. I'm going to be creating a league. I haven't decided how I'm going to quite do it yet. It might be the first 100 people that join, or I haven't decided yet. I don't want to lock it in yet. But we're going to have a league where the first 100 people or something along those lines will get a shot. I'll pick 22 people to be in a league. And if we think we need to do another one, we'll do another 22 people to be in a league. And so those leagues will be on Sleeper, and there'll be 22 people. There'll be something along lines of 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex. And it might be best ball with no bench. and have some creative lineup that can allow 22 people to draft. It will be kind of a wild style, but it'll allow us to be in a big league together. People always asking for, how can I get in a league? How can I get in a league? It'll probably be through this form here. So the Patreon here for people to join, $10, cancel anytime through Patreon. Let me drop the link real quick and put it on here. But I truly believe, I just have a really, really good feeling about this being somewhere that not only do I love the app, the Patreon app and how it functions, but I love that it's like YouTube I love, but I can't like conversate with you guys when the show ends. I can't. This is going to be the place, I think, where we do that. So there's the link. Join in and jump into that. And then real quickly, I was going to show this field goal. Hold on. We got to get a hold of the Arizona Cardinals. See if I can kick and tackle.
I'll come back for a 55.
For this kick at the Arizona Super Bowl Experience, I got first place. As far as I know, I went back and asked them. They said no one had outkicked it, so that was it. So Arizona, sign me up. I'm ready. Put me in. I'll get hurt right away. I probably bust a knee on the first play. I don't think my knees can handle it. I want to say they can, but they can't if I'm being honest. My knees would give out really quickly. Ron, appreciate your $20 hauler. Rock out, appreciate your $2 hauler. Let me go around the phone line here. We're not quite leaving yet, but Ron, what do you got? What do you say? What do you hear?
You know what? I think, in my opinion, that Chicago backfield is going to be a hot mess this year.
I agree.
We're grass. Who do you take? I mean, how do you know? You don't know how that whole backfield. I'm worried about taking anybody in the Chicago backfield. I
agree. Swift's a big avoid for me. Even I hate to say that because he was a moon man last year, and for the most part, he earned his keep. If you hung on strong at the end, though, he may have burned you because he didn't finish good, and they wore him down. His yards per carry were not awful, though, like when you look at that data and say, well, he definitely didn't get the carries, but he definitely didn't finish well. And so it's hard to know if they wore all the tread off the tires because they took a running back that was a half receiver, half rusher, and they ran him into the ground. So I'm not too sure what to make of Swift. All I know is that Chicago feels like a mess anyway, and like you said, like you kind of just alluded to, I don't think any of us know or feel like they're locked into anything yet. So why would we go ahead and assume that Swift, and man, did he start off bad? This was a worrisome week one. Running back 71. We're like, oh God. Some of the moon man did take some time, but running back 4, running back 15, 12, 10, 9, 23, 14, 25, bye week 9. But then he did finish very, very badly. 32, 37, running back 52, running back 28, running back 14, running back 39. But, some of that again was that he didn't get a lot of work at the end of the year. But I just feel like they maybe ran him into the ground. He's not designed to carry the football the way that they used him. Who is Saquon Barkley? Granted he's injury prone, but I'm going to go ahead and ride that risk out, ride that wave out. I think Barkley's in for a huge year. But I agree with you, Ron. I don't love this running room in Chicago. I don't like Chicago, period, right? So why am I going to buy into the running back stable?
I mean, it's like, okay, start Herbert. I like Herbert, but then you got Roschon there. And now you got the three of them, and it's just like, okay, you don't know who's gonna do what. It's so unpredictable.
Oh, man.
For drafting.
I got an indent from my glasses. I got an indent, I said, from one of my glasses on the side of my nose.
Oh wow, yeah, I've got.
problem is what my eyeglasses in my car, the little thing fell off, the little padding thing, and so
His nose.
yeah, it's creating like a wound from wearing the glasses, and then I'm wearing these all day, and then now it's even worse. I'm gonna have an indent, kind of like they say the kids are gonna have an indent from the headphones on their head. 20 years from now, they're gonna dig up bodies and say, "Why does everybody in the 2000s have this indention in the middle of their head?" All right, rock out. What you haven't said much. What, Ron?
I'm glad.
All right, rock out. What's up?
Yeah, like the 11th, 12th turn deep. Are you liking the receiver route or the running back with like Gibbs or someone like that?
Do I like Gibbs or who? Say it one more time.
Are you liking more going like receiver like Garrett and Harrison or like Gibbs?
I like balance. I like balance. I'd rather have Marvin Harrison Jr. and Gibbs, or Breece Hall and MHJ, or Garrett Wilson and Gibbs. Yeah, I'd much rather have balance. 100%.
Yeah, because I know sometimes you went like double receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why I asked.
Yeah. I very much don't mind going double-decker, which is right here.
The double-decker, pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting wide receiver back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2, using these plethoras of players. The double-decker.
But the Four Horsemen, looks a lot better. And granted, the double-decker, you're only seeing 2 players, but at the end of the day, giving me Jamar Chase and Kyron, and now Achane is in round freaking. Let me move him over here because he's in round 3 now, which is so phenomenal. Let's put Achane back here. I mean that's such an amazing player to get this late in the draft. Like I just don't even know. I can't even contain myself. The fact that Achane's a 3rd player now. So Barkley and Kyron in round 2. I mean, you could throw a couple other players in round 2 that I love. You could throw Henry in round 3 too if you wanted. But Chase, Kyron, or Barkley, Achane, Hurts, Josh Allen or Mahomes, but preferably like that quarterback there. And then this wild card round, do whatever the hell you want with it. Like this is my style. If you had to say, Smitty, what is your favorite way to draft? It is Four Horsemen. It is not double decker. I love double decker. Tripod I love too, which is this right here.
The tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting one of Allen, Mahomes, or Hurts to go with one of these round 1 running backs and one of these running backs in round 2. The tripod.
What'd you say, Rock Out?
I said, where do you like Debo? He'd be like going to the 2nd round.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
I don't mind Debo in the 2nd round. I don't mind that at all. But give me this Four Horsemen over a double decker. Give me the Four Horsemen over the tripod for the most part. This is what we're talking about right here. But man, the fact that Achane's I don't know that we could put Achane in round. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can. This was designed. The Four Horsemen, I feel like, is more designed for that QB there. But I guess the tripod more so as the cemented in quarterback. Yeah, I'm okay with this. This is fantastic. I mean, this is a great group right here. Who else would be round 2? Who else would be round 2 worthy of putting in here? I mean, Debo kind of, but I get JT, I guess we could say. I don't mind JT here. Marvin Harrison Jr. But Four Horsemen's more designed. Four Horsemen, actually, scratch that, because Four Horsemen's more designed for a pick that's in like the mid first round, or a little bit higher or a little bit lower than mid first round. Because like these guys, these wide receivers, you're getting at 2, 3, 4. JJ may be at 5 or 6, and then so Marvin Harrison Jr. is never going to fall to that second round, so we can't really use MHJ. I don't know. People are like, what in the hell is he talking about?
Right.
All right. Well, rock out. Anything else?
God,
that hurts so bad.
What's the earliest would you take Kyron? Because I was in a situation that I liked the 2-4 and I didn't like any receivers, so I was kind of forced to take Kyron.
I love Kyron.
Because I had to pick between like Alave and Collins, so I took Kyron.
Kyron to the moon, bro. Love him in round 2. I mean, honestly, you got to force him at 2.4, 2.5. I don't care. I don't care what people say. Just get Corum. You have to get Corum. You don't cuff Corum, it could literally cost you your league. It's not. This is not a knock on Kyron. It's more about they run the hell out of the ball. Kyron runs like a maniac. He reminds me of Pacheco in that way. He's going to miss 2 or 3 games probably, and Corum is going to be versed enough to step in and play very, very well. Not going to take his job, but without the combo, you don't guarantee the top 5 running back production. So you have to take Corum. And the moment Kyron misses a game, someone's going to come in and go, told you, and Corum's going to do well. And we're like, no, we told you.
Speaking of Pacheco, will you like him?
I'm not as high on Pacheco as the average person, man. I mean, I see him go so high, and I mean, tell me a season where the Chiefs have been like very consistent at RB. You know, like coming into this year, if you remember correctly, Pacheco was a bold moon man. He was on the moon man list. Pacheco was a bold moon man take by your boy Smitty right here in this channel and everybody here. People didn't like it. People made fun of the fact that we had Pacheco as a moon man. Do you remember that? It wasn't that long ago that was the case. So walking into last year, they weren't consistent. They've never been. This will be the first year, if they are, consistent with how they use their RBs at the end of the year and how they use their RBs at the beginning of the year. They've never been consistent since, you know, the Jamal Charles days and the Kareem Hunt days. They have not been consistent. We came in here saying Pacheco's going to break out. He's going to be a moon man. Everyone's going to regret not taking him. And we were 100% right. But given that Pacheco finished the year strong, given that McKinnon finished the year strong the year prior, given that Damian Williams would finish the year strong back-to-back years, even with a Super Bowl, a strong Super Bowl appearance where he was like MVP material in that game for the Super Bowl game. And they didn't use him at all at the beginning of the year. They slingshot into week 1, and you're like, what are you doing? They've never been consistent. So I'm not saying that they're not going to be. I'm just saying be careful. Because they've never have been. It's been years. Near a decade now. And what's his ADP at? His ADP, Pacheco's going at about...
People take him in the 3rd for some reason.
Yeah, I'm okay with the 4th round, Pacheco. But he has gone a little early sometimes. So just be careful. Be careful. All right, rock out. I'll see you tomorrow, pal.
All right, see ya.
Later. Rock out to the moon. Travis and Ron, you guys have anything else?
Yeah, just in terms of Ford, I'm just kind of trying to get a grasp on him. Have you taken guys like, where was it? He's 135. So are you taking guys like Tajay Spears over him or Brian Robinson Jr., or do you like Ford better than them? Or how do they stack up?
Yeah, I kind of do. I could force myself to answer that question and be like, yeah, I do like. I could go with Spears. But Ford's like so. Brian Robinson, is he the starter? Probably, but like, is he really a starter or is he like sharing it?
Yeah.
Is Ford the starter? Probably. Is
Right.
Spears a starter? No. Like, so, I mean, this is one of the there might even be a video on this. I mean, I could even see him being a moon man. I'm starting to really just like the idea of Ford.
It's interesting. Yeah.
He's the final lone starter available in fantasy football. I'm starting to wonder. Him and Zach Moss are just. I think I'm going to do a Ford and Zach Moss video. These are the two cheapest running back ones for their team that we can find. Like, why are they still available? Why, if I go to the rankings, I mean, I can't believe my eyes when I see where Zach Moss is still ranked. I think he's climbing a little bit, but 92 overall, running back 26, really?
Yeah, that's an odd one.
And Ford is Ford
around 120. You can cuff him easy.
Yeah, cuff easy. And then Ford, I mean, he's the starter, no? I mean, does anybody disagree?
No, he is. There's, like I said, I think, what is it? It's Donta Foreman and Naheem Hines.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I mean, I know a lot of people think Foreman's going to come in and do something, but 135 overall is Jerome Ford. Is that really a risk? No. So we're going to have a video probably on this, I imagine. In fact, let me write it down on the board. Ford and
well, you know what else it is people. There's a lot of people who think Chubb is just coming back, and there's a lot of risk in that.
There's a lot of people who don't understand knee injuries, and they're just like, yeah, he'll be fine. Isn't he 28? Ziggy, how old is Nick Chubb? I think he's 28.
Nick Chubb is 28 years old and was born on December 27th.
Ziggy off, so he turns 29 during the year. There's look. Doing well at 28 years old is hard enough. Doing it when your knee was essentially, this is a model of his knee. It's a very delicate model. I don't want to bend it, and his knee went like this. That was his knee. His knee got trashed. And it's a shame. And I've always given a standing ovation for Nick Chubb because Nick Chubb was a monster and we owe him this. Nick Chubb, this one's for you. Pour one out for Nick Chubb.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Want everyone to know how much I appreciate what he's done. But his knee is toast. His knee bent like this. Did a L-shaped 90-degree angle. And he's 28 turning 29. All right. Anything else, pal? Ron?
Just off of that. In terms of just, I know ADP matters, so there's ADP is a huge difference. But in terms of liking the player Ford, who does he stack up with? Do you like James Cook and Rachaad White? Do you still have them quite a bit above him, or are you mixing them in with him? Or?
I mean, their ADPs are miles apart. So this is one of those things where
just strictly as a player, talent-wise, I understand. I'm kind of just pushing the ADP to the side.
Yeah, it's tough to answer this question because people are not going to hear it. They're going to hear me say I want Ford over Cook, and I'm not saying that. So cost of entry, I kind of have to include. And I'm just going to say that if you tell me, hey, Smitty, you can draft this other wide receiver where James Cook's going, and that would be to the tune of a pretty high and high-ranking player. James Cook's going 55 overall. So if I include wide receivers, look at ADP, you're talking about potentially, first of all, you're talking about potentially Stroud. You're getting Stroud and Ford instead of drafting James Cook and trying to get a quarterback later. You're talking about Mahomes, maybe he's a little bit earlier, but not even 7 spots. You're talking about Terry McLaurin. You're talking about Anthony Richardson. You're talking about Rachaad White. I do like Rachaad White more than Ford, but do I like the idea of Mahomes or Stroud or Richardson are missing out on a quarterback and having Ford instead of Rachaad White? I'll take Ford at the quarterback upgrade. Now, granted, it's not apples for apples because you got to tell me, okay, well, Smitty, where's Ford going? Well, Ford's going what did I say, 130? So, the quarterbacks there are are like Stafford and Rodgers, and I like those guys, but you give me Anthony Richardson and Ford, and I like it better. I'm not a huge James Cook fan, and Rachaad White's got some risk to him. I like him, but there's some risk, you know.
Yep.
All right, Travis, we'll see you later. Ron, do you have anything else before I knock you both off the phone line? Appreciate the $20 holler.
Are you at the end of your draft, are you getting any shares of Frank Gore Jr.?
I was in the offseason. I was drafting him like in every single draft at the tail end, the last round. If I can grab both of the RBs, so if I'm going after Davis and Davis and Gore, I might do it, but you can't even really do that anymore because, I mean, that's 2 running back spots out of 5. You can't really build a team on underdog when you're trying to draft just 5 RBs and have enough wide receivers for it to make sense. So you can't. Like in a non-best ball, yeah. Non-best ball, I'll take Frank Gore and Davis, and especially if you've got like taxi squads and stuff like that. I love the idea. I think Davis and Gore together is pretty damn crafty in a non-best ball. Best ball, impossible. Like, it's such a waste of a spot, you know, because you don't even know, you know, what's going to happen. I mean, I don't hate it, but, like, I'd rather you have a different RB if you're only going to field 5 of them. He may not hit the field, man. You know, and your chances of winning, I know he can be a league winner, too. But I would say, like, I love him. I love him in non-best ball. Maybe, how about in weeklies? Ron, I'm okay with it in weeklies.
The thing in the best ball is you want to be unique where nobody else, and if nobody's drafting him, and you get I'm not saying, like, draft him every draft, but get a few shares of him in there, and so if you can, you know, if you have a really good team and you can afford your last pick to be Frank Gore Jr., why not? Because you just bring out that uniqueness, and who knows, at the end of the year, maybe he's playing a lot because of injuries.
I like him. That's why I want him in non-best ball, and especially if you can taxi squad him or anything like that. But I just think that when you're dealing with 5 RBs, especially if you're talking about like Mania, you can't afford to like have no RB for 7, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks. Like, you're going to need that running back in the rotation if you're only rolling with 5. And I don't know. I think in weeklies, I'm more okay with it because, you know, you might be able to, like, dog walk it for a while, and then, like, weeks 8, 9, 10, you don't care. Like, every week is its own individual league. So you have a chance at $20K in week 8. Week 8's got nothing to do with weeks 1 through 7. Week 10 has nothing to do with week 9. Week 15, there's no playoffs. So I would say I like it better in weeklies. I think you've got a better shot, but you throw him into your 5 running back rotation without any shot at, he could get cut. I'm not saying he will. I like him a lot, but he could get cut. He's not even close to being lined up to get starter touches yet. So that's the only reason why I'd say stay away from Frank Gore in Mania. But I love it in non-best ball. Let's see. Gore's going 215. Yeah, he's definitely dropped out of getting drafted. And you're right, Ron. Being unique is important, but you'd actually be surprised at how many teams that won that were in the top 10 this year that didn't have that none. Like, one of them had, like, Puka, from what I heard. Like, there was you'd be surprised at some of the things that didn't win that should have won because you thought, oh my God, no one else had this, but you know, it didn't necessarily push it over the edge. So important for sure to have something different.
Yeah, you got to get those teams into the playoffs to begin with. But
right. That's why I say weeklies.
Hard enough. Yeah.
That's why I say Frank Gore and weeklies. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Ron and Travis, appreciate you both. Ron, thanks for the $20 hauler. Go eat some more potato chips.
No.
Thanks, man.
Too late.
See you, Ron.
Take
care, Ron.
Ron's marinating his steak for tomorrow morning. All right. Later, guys.
Yeah. How'd you know?
Later.
How did you know?
Bye.
It's a 50-50 guess. Well, it was easy. It was an easy guess. All right, later, Ron. God, man eats steak more than anybody I know. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate all my super chatters. Thank you, Ron. Overcome. Rock out. Rock out. Rock out. Rock out drops 3 $2 super chats. Rock out. You're the man. Rock out to the freaking moon.
To the moon.
I'll see you all later.
Legend has it if you say Saint Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.